So if you have a friend that is listening to music or sleeping, then wake them up because we've got a test next class. Be a good friend, wake them up. This first question, if you're honest with yourself, most of you missed this on the quiz. And most of you didn't just lose 6 points, you lost all 10 points because you didn't know how to show work. So to show work on these, you can jot down the math symbols that go above them. So 3 more than something, or plus 3. Half a number, that means you have to have number and then you're gonna half it. Equals 4. Okay, so we have to have something. We're gonna add 3 and it equals 4. The next one, 3 divided by 2. So 3 divided by 2 plus a number equals 4. A number plus 3. So a number plus 3 divided by 2. So it's saying a number plus 3 divided by 2 equals 4. Some of y'all might have done n plus 3/2, simple fix. And the last one, 3 times, so 3, we're gonna multiply by stuff. 3 times a number divided by 2, so a number divided by 2 equals 4. Very nice. So if you're confused about how to show work for these when you're doing your quiz, one thing you can do is this stuff that I did up here. Just translating it. Question number 2. It says, in a class of 24 students, the number of boys was 1/4 the number of girls. How many girls were in the class? So our question, how many girls? That's what we're trying to figure out. How many girls? Well, we know that there are 24 students and the number of boys, the number of boys is 1/4 the number of girls. Right? Okay. Well, we need to figure out how many girls we have, right? So what we can do is we can figure out, well, what's 1/4 of the number of students? So we can do 1/4 over here. Do y'all remember when you multiply by a fraction, if you can reduce it first, it'll make it easier. Does 4 and 24 reduce? Does 4 and 24 reduce? Yes. Yeah, because 24 divided by 4 is what? 6. Okay, so 6 is the number of boys we have. If we have 6 boys, then how many girls? 15. Another thing that you could do is take 24 and divide it by 4. So that means 24 divided by 4 is 6. So you have 6 and then 6 and then 6 and then 6. That's each 1/4 of the number of students in the class. It says 1/4 is boys and then the rest has to be girls.
I did it like 1/4 is 25%.
It is 100%. Yeah, Ty multiplied it by the percent because 1/4 is 25%. So times 0.25. That is definitely another way to do it. Question number 3. This is another one where we have to write it as a math sentence. So 6 times something. So 6, and we're going to multiply. 6 times as much as, okay, the sum means we're going to be adding something, R and S, R and S. So it's 6 times this stuff. So 6 times R plus S. That's it. That's fine. Well, no. That doesn't work unless you put parentheses also around the R plus X. The next one. So we have -6 minus -11. What is minus negative? Plus. So we get 11 minus 6. What's 11 minus 6?
5.
Yep. So we get 5 over 5. What's that? 1. It is 1.
1. I knew. I just wasn't sure.
That's it. Yeah.
I knew for sure.
The next questions. Question number 5. You have 2 questions like this on the test, so we need to make sure that we know how to do them. You have 2 questions like this on your test. It says, if this, then this. So we have to first solve for t. First solve for t. And then we will plug in. You have 2 questions like this on your test. We have to first solve for t, and then we'll plug it in. So to solve for t, this one is tricky because there's a variable on both sides. You have a 3 and you have a 5. So let's move it towards the bigger one. So we're going to subtract 3. Five, 4, 3, 2. We almost have t by itself, but we don't. So to get t by itself, I can divide by 2. Does 7 over 2 reduce?
No. No.
And we're going to leave it as a fraction because we're going to go plug it in. So we're going to take that stuff and we're going to come over here and we're going to plug it in now. So 8 times -7 over 2. Every single time you do these, usually the first time when you solve for t or whatever it is, you get a fraction and you think, oh, I did something wrong. Or you pick that fraction as the answer. Don't do it because then you have to go plug it in. So when I go plug it in, 8 over 2, that can reduce. 2 goes into 8 4 times. That becomes a 1. When I multiply straight across, I get 4 times -7. What's 4 times 7? Four times 7? 28. And it's negative. So -28 over 1, which is the same thing as just -28. So remember, t is not your answer. Don't go pick that answer. That's not the answer. You got to go plug it in. Number 6, you guys have a calculator, but even if you didn't, you should be able to line up those decimals and get an answer. Did anybody get an answer? What did you get?
2.911.
Okay, I need somebody else to get 2.911. Okay, Julia got 2.911. We are good. You need to make sure that you can type those into the calculator and get an answer. Yeah. No, it's not a trick problem. You just got to type them in correctly. For something like this, I would type it in twice. It's too easy to get it wrong. So type it in twice, make sure you get the right answer. Question number 7. A soccer team played 170 games and won 85% of them. So we need to find out what is 85% of 170. So we need to change that to a decimal, 0.85 times 170. I don't know that in my head, so you'll have to type it in the calculator. So I got 144. Did anybody else get 144?
Yes. Wait.
Yes, Finan? Is this what you got?
Yes.
Don't say that. I'm not trusting you anymore.
It's 144.
Did you guys get this? Okay, somebody else type it in. We're getting some different answers.
Yeah, I was saying 144.5.
Okay, 144.5 or something. How many games did they win? Can you win half a game? No. So you win 144. Thank you. Delilah, this is for you. Remember, you cannot win a half game, so you have to round down in this situation. Okay. The next one, what is 1245 divided by 99 rounded to the nearest integer? Well, you can't do this problem unless you know what an integer is. What is an integer? Anybody know what an integer is?
No.
I don't remember.
All right, so none of y'all knew that walking in. Write it down. An integer is a whole number. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a whole number. That's it. So let's first divide that. 1245 divided by 99. What do we get? Okay, what'd you get? Okay, and it keeps going, right? Rounding that to the nearest whole number. We look at the 5, it tells the 2 to go up, so it's 13. The nearest whole number. 13 is a whole number. So it's saying take this and make it a whole number. So we have to round it. That is not a whole number. So we're making it a whole number.
Oh, so you rounded
And the nearest to the ones place. So I was looking at this. It told me to make the 2 go up. I probably should have underlined the 2. Sorry. Didn't mean to be confusing. All right, let's take a little short break. Do some eye yoga. Amir is really trying to get the ladies, so he needs to work his eyeballs out. You know, you don't want anybody to think that you skipped eye day.
What?
Don't skip eye day. So do your eye yoga. Let's look up and down. She knew. She doesn't know all about it. I don't. I really struggle. Sometimes I skip it because I just have a hard time. If you do nothing else, take a few deep breaths. All right, let's regroup. On the back, it was loaded with fractions. If you did not get the whole back done, then you need to listen up so that you can get the back done now. So the back side was loaded with fractions. For question number 9, what do you have to do first before you can add or subtract? Very good. A like denominator. What do we want to make the denominators? I think I heard it, 15. You cannot turn 3 into 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply this one by 5 over 5, this one by 3 over 3, and we will rewrite them both. So we end up with 10 over 15 minus 6 over 15. So 10 minus 6. Oh, no. Did somebody find my mistake? What is it? 9. 9. 3 times 3 is 9, not 6. Okay, don't trust me. It's still early. 10 minus 9, what do we get? Yes, 1 over 15. Nope, 10 minus 1 or 10 minus 9, 1. Well, it's not written that way. It's 10 minus 9, not 9 minus 10. All right, question 10. This is just like the question on the front. It will be on your test. And so some of you guys need an amazing grade on the test. So please listen up. We've got to solve this one. So we have to solve for B equals. That's first. Second, we have to plug it in. Okay, we have to do B equals and then we have to plug it in. Okay, this is another one like the other question where we have a B on both sides. Which one is bigger?
4.
The 4. So let's bring this 2 over. It's fine. It'll just be a 0 on the other side when we take it away. So let's bring the 2B over. So subtract 2B. 4, 3, 2. So we get 2B minus 3 equals 0. Two-step equation. So let's add 3. And then my last step, divide by 2. So B is equal to 3 over 2. Does that reduce? No, and we leave it as a fraction. So again, I will tell you that when you do the first step, it's almost always a fraction. We go plug it in and it turns out to a pretty number. So we're going to take that. We're going to plug it in. So we get 10 times 3 over 2. Does that reduce before I multiply? Yes. 10 and 2. So this becomes 1/5 or 5 over 1. When we multiply across, then it's just 5 times 3. Done. Okie dokie. We're going to write 75% a couple different ways. So 75% of X, we could write it as a decimal. It could be 0.75 times X. 75, think about quarters. How many quarters is that? 3. It's also 3/4 X. We could write it as a percent, but as a fraction. So it's 75 out of 100. On your test, it's like, which one is not a way to write 75%? And so 3 of them are going to work. One of them is not. So just be careful. 3 will work, 1 will not. Question number 12. 7 out of 18. Let me check how it asks this in the test. I think it's just looking for a decimal. Yeah, it's just looking for the decimal, which means you guys will have a calculator. You could just use your calculator. What do you get? 7 out of 18. Divide. Get a decimal. Really, all it's doing is changing it to a decimal. So yes, you could. You're just changing it to a decimal. .38. Anything else? It just keeps going on a bunch of 8s. Okay, so we could say that that's 0.39. That's all it is. Dividing. That's it. 14% of 40. I want you to write it down on your paper and I want you to type it in. Amir, what did you get for this question? $19.6. Final answer? Who else got 19.6? Good job. Question number 14. Be careful. Question number 14, be careful because it says 32 is 80% of what number? This one is different. So to find this one, you have to divide by 0.8. So we've got 32 divided by 0.8. What do we get? Yep. Good job. Did she have the baby? Oh, my babies were like 6 pounds. They were scrawny. That's kind of a big baby. Autumn what? That's cute. And you got vetoed? You got vetoed? Nobody liked your name? Addison.
Oh, yeah, no, it wasn't my name, it was my brother's name.
Oh. We've only got a couple more. We got this. So this question, this one just says T equals. So there's no second step. It's just T equals. So all we have to do for this one is solve for T. So this one, I have T right here. So let's get rid of all the other stuff. So I need to bring the 5 over. So 6 minus 5 is 1. And then we need to divide by 2. That's it, done. Question 16, this is just like the one on the front. So we got minus, minus, that will be a plus. So we get 7 plus 3, 10 over negative 5. What is that? A positive divided by a negative, that will be a negative. 10 divided by 5 is what? 10 divided by 5 is 2.
2.
Question number 17. This is adding, subtracting fractions. What do you have to check first? Yep, like denominator. Like denominator. So they're not, what are we going to make it? 6. So to make it 6, we'll have to multiply this side by 3 over 3, this side by 2 over 2, and rewrite them both. So your new denominator, it's over 6, so it will equal over 6. And then we've got 15 plus 28. Eight and 5 is 13. Add the 1, 2, 3, 4.
43.
Does that reduce? No, because 6 times 7 is 42, so that does not reduce. Question number 18. Look at number 18. How does number 18 make you feel?
I don't like
Zeros.
Okay, we don't like question number 18 largely because of this business right here, right? The b is not equal to 0. Who is anxious about question number 18? Right. But anyways, b is not equal to 0 just says, okay, well, b can't equal 0. Fine, whatever. I don't care what that means. You can ignore it. Pretend like it's not there. If it makes you anxious, ignore that part. Now then, we have 3 fractions and then we're adding them together. What do we have to do to make sure we can add fractions? Like denominators, that's it. So if we look at the denominators, 2 of them are b and then 1 of them is 5b. Well, they all need to be the same. So we're not going to turn 5b into b, but what if we just multiply the other 2 by 5 over 5? Yeah, then we'll be good. So let's do that. So we need to multiply this one by 5 over 5, and then the second one by 5 over 5, and I'll rewrite them all.
You want to do the last one?
No, because it already has 5b.
Oh, yeah.
So now we have a like denominator. We can put them all together. My denominator is going to stay 5b. And then I just need to add across the top. So I have 5 plus 25 and then minus 1. So 5 plus 25 is 30. 30 minus 1 is 29a on the top over b. Does that reduce at all?
No.
No. The one on your test, it's pretty much just like this. You got to make sure you have a like denominator. It's the same steps. 2 of them will not be. 1 of them, you turn it into that, and then you add them. We have 2 more questions, and these are word problems, but they're the same word problems on your test. So let's read through them.
It has 2 things I don't like.
Words and fractions? Yes. A box in a college bookstore. Y'all ready? Okay. A box in a college bookstore contains books. Okay. Each book in the box is a history book, an English book, or a science book. 1/3 of these books are history books. 1/6 are English books. How many are science books? So it says that we've got history books, we've got English books, we have science books. It says that 1/3 are history. And then 1/6 are English plus some amount of science books. That's going to give you all of the books. Well, we're adding fractions. What do you have to have when you add fractions? Like denominators. Well, I have a 3 and I have a 6. So what am I going to make my denominator? I don't have to make it 12. I could make it 6. Right? If you can turn one into the other, that's easier. So let's make it out of 6. So we know we have something out of 6 here. And then if we have all the books, we will end up with 6 out of 6. What we have to do first, though, we have to multiply this by 2/2. So we get 2/6 plus 1/6 plus something over 6 has to give us 6 out of 6. It could be X. So 2 plus 1 is 3 plus another 3 would give us 6. So we have to have 3 science books. What is 6/6? Or a whole, right? So that means all of our books.
Oh.
So all of the books. Yep. So these are, it's like what part out of the whole? So 1/3 of them is history books, 1/6 of them is English. Some part is going to be science. And it has to add up to a whole. So it has to add up to 6/6. Yes. And then we'll get a whole. The last question is one of the easiest questions on the test. It is a word problem, but it is easy. It's like our other easy word problems. You're not solving anything. So when you have the very last question and it is a word problem, it's easy. Don't skip it, read it, do it. It's easy. It says, if A represents the number of apples purchased at 10 cents, B represents the number of bananas purchased at 15 cents, which of the following represents the total value of purchase in cents? There's not which of the following because I took off the multiple choice. But if we're buying things, we're buying apples and bananas. It says that apples are 10 cents and bananas are 15 cents. That's it. That's it. You find the one that matches. That's it.
What? Okay.
On your test, that's it. That's it. No solving. You find the one that matches. So again, please do not be deceived. Not every word problem means a hard question. Some of them are really simple.